Well, g'day. How's all going? This is Roscoe here, coming to you from Clunes, northern New South Wales, Australia. And yeah, I have been toying around with the silly nickname lately, calling myself Flat Earth Aussie fucking Jesus, which is a bit silly, I'll admit it. I'll be the first to admit it, but I'm just having a bit of fun and explaining it simply because, the beard, the long hair, the blue eyes, the Christ consciousness. I consider Christ consciousness is actually the goal of why we're here, and that Jesus himself did say that someday the time will come when all men will do as I have done and more. And while he says men, I believe he's referring to mankind, which does include those of us who have wombs, for those of you girly ones who get a bit upset about discrimination. And while we're on the subject of discrimination, it's come to my attention that your humble speaker here is also suffering from a certain form of discrimination, simply because, Facebook has gone and given me another ban. And even when I open up my backup account, which I base off my stage name, which you find from using your grandfather's name and the name of the first street you lived on. That's how most actors have their name as well. So I was born on Rose Street, so my middle name happens to be the same name as my grandfather, so Eddie Rose is my backup Facebook account from when I'm on a holiday. And then when I went to post a bloody video on Eddie Rose account today, I still couldn't do it. I'm blocked from that as well, even though, how can I be? Because you've got to violate the standards. So obviously I'm being tracked, and you can't really use your own backup sock accounts anymore to stay in touch with your friends that they encourage you to do in the first place. They don't tell me what post I made that was against their standards, but I have a feeling I've attracted a few people who are just out to shut me up lately. And I'm not going to say it's a complete coincidence that the lack of work I've been getting lately is also related to this discrimination against my personal disability. Now, I didn't choose to become an alcoholic. It's a side effect of my life, which I deal with really well, and I'm sure it never interferes with my ability to do my job. But what happened last week is I got randomly drug and alcohol tested after I was telling everybody I work with that I'm celebrating my son's 21st birthday. I'm taking him out for dinner. This was on the Wednesday night, and so we had a few beers. I turned up for work on the Thursday morning. I do my job exactly as I should. Don't have a problem. The supervisor gets me to drive the vehicle around, obviously well aware that I'm not showing any signs of inebriation. And then a bit later, gets me on the radio and tells me that we're having a random drug and alcohol test. So I thought, piece of fucking piss. No worries. I haven't taken any drugs. I don't do drugs. I might have had a bit of a smoke a week or so ago, but that's neither here nor there. It's just herbs, natural medicinal herbs, which happen to stay in the body, unlike poisons like alcohol and cocaine or whatever drugs people take, where your body tries to get rid of them as fast as possible. Cannabis, on the other hand, your body hangs on to for as long as possible because obviously it's a desirable thing, good for your health. So anyway, I tested over the limit. Now, the limit to drive a vehicle for a grown adult human being living in this free world called Australia is 0.05. That's the standard legal amount, which is probably the equivalent of having 2 to 3 stubbies in an hour and then 1 per hour afterwards. That would probably put you within the range of being over the limit, and so you try and keep it under that when you know you're going to be driving. So when you go to sleep for 6 hours, get up and go to work and have a coffee and everything on the way to work and do your utmost to not have anything to drink, you would find yourself quite surprised that at 20 to 8 in the morning that you're slightly over 0.02. It was actually 0.026. They actually go a little step further than what you normally get told at your roadside alcohol test. So I was just over half of the allowable legal limit. So well within the legal range. You know, completely sober in other words. 20 minutes later they retested me again and it's now 0.018. So I'd come down that much in just 20 short minutes. And so they stood me down because they said, well, we've got a 0 alcohol tolerance on this job, even though it's the most pathetic job in the world. And I'm not mentioning any names, of course, because that's one of the things we sign when we take on a job with these companies. And, you know, I wouldn't want to do anything to subject myself to more bloody disciplinary action. Like a 47-year-old man must be disciplined and can't take control of his own life, but that's how it is. That's how it goes. So they stood me down for the day and they haven't given me work since. Now that is discrimination. The boss, and I will not mention your name because that's something I will not do. I don't do that sort of thing. I don't mention anybody's name. Not by free will anyway, unless I was under some sort of downers or something. But anyway, he tells me, well, I'll review it over the weekend and see what work I can find for you. So I said, oh, that's great. You know, I got my mum visiting on Saturday. Turns out she didn't come anyway, but neither here nor there. And I said, well, I'm happy to work again from Sunday since. It's now Monday. I'm not given any work. And yet they were happily giving me plenty of work up until this. Now, because I suffer from this as a disability, alcoholism is a disability. It is a disease. And it's one that, as I said, I manage it. You know, I drink. I don't drink excessively. I drink moderately. And I was well and truly what I would have honestly thought well beneath the limits when I go to work the following morning. So I've got a slow metabolism. That might happen with chronic constant use, which is part of the disability. And now I'm being discriminated against. I think you might want to do something about that because otherwise I will. And I don't like to be discriminated against. I do the right thing by everybody and I expect the right thing to be done by me. Anyway, cheers, have a good day, and I'm going to sing you a song. A town in northern New South Wales with dream, comfort, memory to spare, and in my mind I still need a place to go. All my changes were there. Flying across the sky, throwing shadows on our eyes, leave us helpless, helpless, helpless. Baby, can you hear me now? chains are locked and tied across the door. Baby, sing with me somehow. Flying across the sky, throwing shadows on our eyes, leave us helpless, helpless, helpless. Baby, can you hear me now? Locked and tied across the door. Baby, sing with me somehow. Helpless, helpless, helpless. We are helpless, helpless, helpless. I will be done.